Happy Halloween, yahoos! This is the way of the dork.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 63 of the Four Dorksmen podcast. I'm Nate, aka Angry Nate.
I'm the moving man, Joey.
This is Collector Clint.
And this is Asian Tony Stark.
And thank you for joining us this week. As usual, we are here. We are four dorks who like to sit around and just talk about whatever we feel like and go off topic as we go. So a couple of quick housekeeping things this week. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at _Dorksman. You can always play bingo at dorksmanbingo.com. And as usual, shout out to Andrew New Beerland for hooking up the bingo card. Andrew is of the Tory Wine podcast, and also thanks to Larry from the STS guys and the Totally Rad Movie Pod for hooking up the redirect. So everything's nice and easy to find at dorksmanbingo.com. You can always email us at dorksman@gmail.com. As usual, we will read your email, but we probably won't respond, and we will probably read it on the air as a recording. So feel free to email us. No one's emailed us. No one loves us enough to email us.
Because we keep telling them not to, but you know what?
Probably. We tell them to, but we just maybe they want a response. The next
So when you
email
say
will get a
nobody loves
response.
you, Nate, does that include your wife? Because I mean, I know my wife loves me.
What about Banner?
Yeah, I don't know. It's debatable sometimes.
Does the email address actually work?
It does, Joey. It works.
Joey,
It
why
works.
don't you email us right
Exactly.
now and see if
Yeah.
I get the email?
Nah,
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so.
All right. Well, anyway, next person to actually send an email, we'll respond to.
We
So
will respond
be
to
that
the next
person.
email. Yeah. So if you want to be that first person, maybe second person, I don't know. If you want to be the next person to get an email response,
There you
email
go.
us now. There you go. And of course, if you're listening to us, we're switched from SoundCloud. We're at dorksman.podbean.com. Hopefully, we're back up on iTunes.
We are.
And Spotify. Okay, perfect. So there you go. Things are slowly getting back to normal for where you can find us. Yeah. So let's kick it off with some Ask the Dorksman questions as we enjoy them. Our first question this week from Twitter, just call me Omer. His question is very on topic for spooky season. What is your favorite horror character?
So I had trouble with this because horror is not really my forte. So I had a question. What is the definition of horror? Because the first thing that came to mind for me was Beetlejuice. And he's not traditional horror, but it fits the spooky season. So
I thought you were going to say the kids from school was the things that you.
The kids from school.
That's year-round horror.
Right.
But if we're talking just for spooky season, does Beetlejuice fit? Because I have a few backups. If
I
You
think
know
that's
what?
an open-ended.
I was gonna say I think Beetlejuice counts, but I'm curious what your backups were.
okay,
Yeah, same.
okay. So if we wanted to go like slasher, traditional horror type stuff, then Ghostface from the Scream movie series would probably be one. Just because I love the first Scream movie. The rest were kind of like, but the first one was pretty good because of the sort of self-referential play on horror tropes that the movie did. So I
Sure,
thought it was
sure.
pretty good. And at the time, there was that sort of reinvention of the teen slasher stuff. And I think it was probably the best ones of it. But the other backup I had, which is a little bit different, is Annie Wilkes from Misery.
Oh,
'Cause I think Kathy
it's a good one.
Bates.
yeah.
I think Kathy Bates did a fantastic job, and that scene where she takes the sledgehammer
Mhm.
still
Picture it
is
in my mind.
I
Right
know. I could just
Yeah.
hear
you
it.
know,
Yeah.
one of the worst things in probably a horror film that I've seen. So
Yeah. Spoiler alert. She breaks
Sorry,
his leg.
yeah, sorry.
You know what? If you don't know that by now,
Come on, that movie came out in what, 1990?
oh, I thought it was even older.
No,
than that.
before that.
Yeah.
Isn't it
Is it
like
older than that?
mid to late 80s?
I think it is. Is what I was
I'm
thinking.
gonna Google it.
Oh,
there
yeah.
it is.
There it is.
1990, right on the dot. 1990.
Damn, Joey. Never mind. We won't question. Well, we'll question you again.
Yeah.
Never mind.
We'll question you anyways, but yeah,
Of course.
Joey
Yeah,
nailed it.
You guys keep me honest, so.
That's what we do. Good job. Well, to go with that, I'm also not a big horror movie fan. I probably need to watch a few more. But the first one that popped in my mind was Jigsaw from Saw. I thought that was kind of a neat portrayal, and he's his own character. They have his own, collectibles for him. So I assumed he counted, even though he's an inanimate object. I didn't even think of any of like the funny horror movies like that. So that's definitely another one that could be up there with, like you said, Beetlejuice or even Scream. I always had a thing for Freddy Krueger too, but I think it's just funny. I think it's just funny, the whole principle. Also because he's parodied so much, everything from South Park to, of course, Rick and Morty with the Scary Terry. So yeah, but my answer is still Jigsaw. Honorable mention to Freddy Krueger.
Oh, you're right.
Freddy's really considered a horror character, though. Because let me also state the caveat that I am not a fan of the genre, but a lot of the people that I know around me that are, they say, okay, you got slasher films. So typically you're looking at like Freddy Krueger slasher, Jigsaw. I would categorize that more horror than anything else. Maybe more psychological thriller, per se.
Right.
But Leatherface, obviously slasher. Michael Myers, slasher. I'm going to go a completely different direction here. I'm going to say the little boy from The Grudge.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, yes.
The little boy and the lady that comes down the stairs. Because to me, that's more horror than like a slasher film.
Yeah.
Although I do like me some Halloween, though. Out of all the different slasher films, that is my favorite.
Creepy.
The Halloween franchise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the one where they're in space?
That's not part of the
The canon?
lineage.
It's not canon, yeah.
Yeah. The only ones that are true canon,
is
according to
going to
John
space.
Carpenter, is the first two.
Right.
The most recent one that came out, what was it? Last year or the year prior?
Yeah, I know what you're
And
talking
then
about.
what should have come out this year?
Yeah, because there's one that's supposed to continue from that, right?
Yeah.
Basically discounting everything that came after.
Yeah. So anything from Halloween 3 and on is not canon.
So kind of like
Good.
the Terminator franchise, where it was
Yeah,
like
they retconned
T1,
it.
T2, then 3 or 4 in between sucked, and then the latest one was actually Terminator 3. There we go.
Yep. So Halloween Kills, which should have come out this year. Again, I'm pretty sure they pushed it back to next year. That would be the 4th installment in the franchise, and then the final one would come out after this movie. Yeah. But
I'm not a big
moving on to you,
slasher
Nate. What are
film
your
guy.
thoughts?
Yeah, I'm again. We're like the 4 people that probably are the least invested in horror movies, and we're leading off spooky season with a horror question, and we're all saying the same thing here. Where we're not big on horror. Same with me. I do, when I think horror, I do think more traditionally like the slasher films, but I mean, there's so much more to it too. There's survival horror, like those earthquake movies and tornadoes and stuff like that, right? And there's like those giant sharks and giant snakes, and there's like all these other different things you could probably classify as under horror. But for me, my initial thought would be Freddy Krueger, 100% for me, just because like as a kid you're like, this thing can get me while I'm sleeping. Like, what the hell is this? Like, that's what gets me. It's like you're sleeping. You're supposed to be safe when you're sleeping, and this thing can get into your dreams and kill you. And that's kind of always stuck with me. Whereas like for some reason, like with like Jason or Michael Myers or like something physical like that, it's like, yeah, okay, I'm awake. I can deal with this. But if I'm sleeping and I have to deal with this, nah, I don't know what to do. So that to me would be the most. That would be my answer.
Interesting. You know what? I just thought of this. So I guess we were too focused on movies. We could have done something like the Demogorgon from Stranger Things, or there's TV shows and such too we could use, but didn't even think about that. But anyway,
that's horror though.
Well,
Again, it's like,
is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I don't know. We're using the term very broadly here.
Yeah.
Quit analyzing it, Joey. That's Ryan's job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, can I
I'm
revise
actually
my
doing that
answer,
right
though?
now. I did look it up on Google. I didn't see some of these movies, but I think they do fit the horror genre. The movie Us.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
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 Okay.
Oh yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Invisible Man, no, that's more psychological thriller. I didn't see Underwater, so I don't know the premise of the plot too much. The
What?
Nun, I would say that's
Oh,
horror.
yeah. Yeah.
If you think about Invisible Man, right? Invisible Man's one of those classic horror movie villains from like way back when, right? Along with like the werewolf and Dracula and the creature from the Black Lagoon. That was what was probably horror back in, what, 50s, 40s, 50s, whenever that was
Insidious,
out, so-
I would say that's a horror film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Joe, you asked a question. I didn't hear what was it?
I don't remember.
Or you want to revise your answer?
Oh, yeah. What was I going to say? I was going to say Jaws. Jaws.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
The actual
yeah.
shark.
Yeah.
That terrified me. No, get that off.
Oh,
the screen,
man.
Antonius.
You guys cannot see what Clint is doing right now, but he's playing with his shark.
Is
My
that
Chapu
smiling.
symbolism?
He's
Is
smiling.
that-
I'm gonna write that down here.
Or as
Clint is playing with
Ava
his
always
shark.
call it her shampoo. She needs to play with the shampoo.
Yeah. So
I'm surprised nobody said the Smurfs, just to be funny, because those things are freaking creepy in that movie.
you're probably the only one that watched it.
Well, even the previews, you're like, whoa, there's a reason the Smurfs were a cartoon and not a real life thing, but
Right.
they are. So anyway,
I was thinking that we just completely went off the topic with what the question really was, but
Yeah.
I mean, since we're not
We do
big
that all the
horror
time,
fans.
though.
Yeah, we're not huge horror fans, so I mean, those are just some characters that stuck out to us and kind of and things that we associate with horror, and especially with the smiling shark, that would be actually quite terrifying, I think.
well, isn't there a Batman the animated series episode where they make the Joker fish? Did you guys ever see that one?
Joker
I mean,
fish are scary.
Joker fish
You
are
do
scary.
realize I'm a Marvel fan more. than
Well,
DC.
I know, but I also realized that in the mid '90s there weren't a whole lot of cartoons that were readily available off of cable that were superhero related, and Batman the Animated Series is actually a pretty good one. So anyway, the Joker fish were absolutely horrifying because they had basically the Joker's face on them, and he was trying to trademark them, which is part of the episode. But yes, they were scary as hell. And, yeah,
Terrible.
yes,
Interesting.
That's awful. Thanks for that.
I think the
I
next
had to
question
Google
should
it.
actually be a lot easier for us to answer.
Well,
I think
let's
so.
do it.
And
Yeah.
our second question comes from Austin, a good friend, Austin Keel. Austin double underscore.
Underscore. I want to eat it.
Yes.
I want to go get food from the understore.
Yes, do it right now. Get some tacos. It's Taco Day.
Yeah, that's right. We're recording on National Taco Day. Good call.
National Taco Day. His question is hot cocoa or apple cider?
So I don't think this is an easy question at all, actually.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
let me
not.
pose a question back to you guys here.
No.
Because it's not clear to me. Are we talking hot apple cider or just regular apple cider?
Regular apple cider is served cold. It's called apple juice.
No, I would disagree with that.
I'm kidding. I am kidding. You're right. It is different. But I
And
think
again,
I assumed
I'm
both are
asking
warm.
because for me,
yeah, I'm assuming
where I
both
am,
warm.
Okay, because I had up until we were up in Seattle in March, what would have been ECCC.
Right.
I had never ever had hot apple cider in my life. We were at Pike's Place, and my wife was like, "Oh, do you want to try this?" Because she hadn't had it either.
Mm-hmm.
And again, from where I live, not a big thing. That's why I wanted the clarification. Are we comparing hot and cold? Because I really
think
want to know.
hot and hot.
I think hot and hot.
For the sake of the question,
fall.
yeah.
Yeah, it's fall. It's, you want to stay warm.
And cold hot cocoa is called chocolate milk. So we're not
Right.
comparing apple juice and chocolate milk.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Mix them together.
There you go.
No,
see what
no,
happens.
Then you
Chocolate
get
apple
Joey.
cider.
no.
All right, Joey, what you got?
Okay. So if we're talking fall season, it has to be hot apple cider because I associate cocoa with Christmas. So
Wintertime, yeah.
If we're talking now, would I want an apple cider or if I'd want a cocoa? I'd go for an apple cider now. because cocoa to me is just not a fall drink. It's winter. It's snow. It's sitting around a fire, and so hot apple cider.
Damn, your explanation's very good, Joey. I might have to agree with you.
Of course.
Right. You're right. I mean, it makes total sense. Even though I'm a chocolate fiend, I might have to. I mean, right now I could go for an apple cider over a hot chocolate for sure, and for the same reason. Even though, and this is another addition that Joey wouldn't really know, but you can also spike both of them pretty well.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Here we go.
So, I'm gonna go apple cider for the time being as well.
With edibles?
Oh, that's Colorado drug joke, isn't it? There you go. Yes, but everything's better with the edibles. Come on now.
Of course.
How about you, Ryan? Now that you've tried them both,
Even tacos are better than edibles.
edible tacos are the best.
Edible tacos.
Edible tacos.
What
are
else
the
are you gonna
best.
do with? No.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna write that one down as a potential title for today too, because that's pretty funny. What was it? Tacos are edible too.
Edible tacos, yeah, tacos,
Edible
or
tacos.
yeah, edible whatever, something like that. Anyway,
I've always just associated cold weather, doesn't matter the time of the year, with hot cocoa. So I'm gonna fall to my default because I mean it was good. Don't get me wrong. The hot apple cider was a great thing, but I've always grown up having hot cocoa. So I'm gonna go with my
How cold does it
default.
get in Hawaii?
Yeah.
The coldest I can recall it getting in the last 10 years out here is maybe down to like 57, and that's rare. And that's 57 Fahrenheit.
have you ever seen snow there?
No.
Didn't
It
think
does
so.
not snow on Oahu. It does snow occasionally on the Big Island and on Maui, but in the upper areas, it's like in the mountainous area where
Sure.
the telescopes are.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So like on Maui, actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking when I went to Maui several years ago, it did not snow, but it was very cold up there. Like in
Noted.
the 40s.
Does it snow
Probably
like?
not cold for you guys.
Does it
though.
ever snow? Like, not. I mean, obviously not like yearly, but like, when's the last time they had snow?
On the peaks?
Yeah,
Pretty regularly.
oh, regularly.
It gets pretty cold up there.
You learned something.
It's high enough in elevation there above the clouds, so
Right.
that way they have an unobstructed view of the
Right.
the sky.
Right.
So there's several telescopes which are also the subject of a lot of controversy on the Big Island about them tearing one down, building another one, how it's going to impact the environment and the Aina, as we call it here in Hawaii, the island and the land.
Oh, that was Hawaiian slang.
It's not actually slang; that's a real Hawaiian word. But
Take
Yeah,
that ding
I
back.
guess that's a
You
square.
take that ding back.
Geek? I don't know how to take a geek
I
thing
guess,
back.
I guess it's a square.
GNID. Ging? Nig? Nig?
Anyways, I think I gotta go with hot cocoa. Hot chocolate's just the way to go for me. I just never really enjoyed hot apple cider. Like, it's just never been not. I mean, I've had it before, but it's not a thing that I would prefer over a hot chocolate if that's the options. If given both options, it's a very boring and simple answer. But if given the choice, as Austin has provided the choice, I will have hot chocolate. Thank you, Austin, for the choice.
Thank you,
So
Austin.
guys, what
for
are
the
your
choice.
answers?
Because
too,
you don't
by
get the
way?
choice at all, do you, Nate?
No, not at all.
So
But
Austin,
thank
we want to
you.
know your choice.
Yeah.
And who was it? Omer? Was it Omer that's
Yeah.
applied the
Yes.
first question? Omer, we'd like to know your insight on that as well.
I responded to both of them on Twitter asking them for their thoughts. So hopefully we'll hear back. Excellent.
And
Clint does that very quickly, and we love that.
It's because we appreciate all the questions. So keep them coming. Hashtag Ask
We
the
do.
Dorksman.
Ask the Joey. How are you doing, Joey?
Ask the tree.
I'm good. How are you? I'm busy. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Well, I bet you're
How's-
coaching, you're moving, you're
Yeah.
working, you're being a parent.
I know. I'm taking time out to talk to you guys again.
We appreciate it.
It's
You're-
true. We do appreciate that.
Your background is a mess.
I know. Well, I moved, so everything's like
Yeah.
scattered. Right.
You are wearing a hat as you usually do, so
I am,
that's
yeah.
very on brand for Joey.
So,
So
yeah.
you
Ryan
do
and I
sound
are
like
not.
you're a little bit under the
I
weather.
was wearing a hat, but these new
you know-
headphones, it starts to bleed with the audio, so I took it off.
I'm
You're waiting-
tired. I'm tired. You know, I had to do a hasty like setup of the equipment, so I don't think the settings are right. So, if
He's
I sound
flustered.
weird, yeah.
Yeah. You sound very Canadian. That's all I'll say.
No,
You sound very
He hasn't
Canadian.
apologized profusely yet.
That's true. Not yet. We haven't had a story.
Sorry. Sorry, brother.
Anyway, what are we
Anyways,
talking about today, Nate?
So what are we talking about today? We're kicking off spooky season.
Spoopy.
Spoopy season. It's October. You know, everyone has been waiting patiently through the last 10 years of 2020 until we got to October, which it is now. And today we just wanted to talk about all things Halloween and pop culture, and I guess, you know, the infatuation with Halloween and how it seems to kind of bleed over to all our fandoms, and just kind of what we like to see, what we enjoy about the season, and just kind of all things Halloween and pop culture. So that's it. That's what we're talking about today.
Is Halloween
Everyone's
not
quiet.
canceled? Like everything else in 2020.
Well, it's a holiday, so no. I mean, we've still had the holidays. It's just they have to celebrate them differently. Now, is trick or treating canceled? That's a great question, and I don't have an answer. To be honest, I
think
hope
that answer
so.
will vary from area to area too.
Yeah,
because
I mean, if
different
you're-
parts of the nation are
Yeah.
on more lockdown than other parts. Like we here in Hawaii just released ours. We were on lockdown for a month. I don't think we're safe to reopen yet, but apparently, come 2 weeks from now ish, they're going to reopen the state to tourism, meaning
Well, really?
even people coming in from out of state.
Get ready for wave 2.
I personally don't agree with that.
No, well, it seems like that. It seems, you know, this is like other viruses. The fall and the winter seem to ramp up, you know, i.e. the flu. So I'm curious to see if that. But regardless, I kind of hope trick or treating is canceled. I'm sorry, kids. I really am, because I know that's something people look forward to. Just listening. Like, we've been watching Netflix. Quick story. Ava, when she wants to watch TV, what do you want to watch, Ava? Something new is always her answer. She never wants to watch. She never wants to watch something she's watched before. So it's getting to be a hassle to figure out something new to watch. You know, the stuff we know is all basically used up. And we came across this show about these cars, like the movie Cars, are live cars, and they went trick or treating. Okay. And it made me realize that trick or treating is about the quest more than it is about the outcome. Because I think a lot of kids, not all, of course, get candy pretty regularly, or at least can get it. You know what I mean? But it's more about going out and achieving it yourself. And I'm sorry that trick or treating this year will, regardless of what you think or how it's going to go, will be affected in some capacity with everything going on. So I apologize to the kids out there about that, and I apologize to the adults that want to do. But I hope nobody ever bobs for apples again. Let's hope that's just nothing that
Bob's
that's
for
not a
apples
thing.
still, though.
I don't know. I mean, you watch The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and
Right,
I mean
yeah.
they're there, and I mean, so somebody's probably doing it. I hope it's like blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. I hope nobody's doing that anymore either. But you know, it's going to be different, regardless of how you look at it. It's going to be way different.
Because you can't even do that like virtually. That's
No, it's like you can. I mean, you could mail
Right.
kids candy, but then you're soliciting kids to candy, and they'll consider it poison. So you don't want to do that either.
yeah.
Like that's I know people are trying to think of ways around it. Like I've heard people are going to be like, well, we'll just leave the candy outside, and you know, then they'll just be up on the parents to kind of disinfect the wrappers and stuff when they get home. You know, people are thinking about doing that, or just like people are trying to get creative with ways to do it. It's tough because I do understand that for kids, like it's such a big day, and they've had such kind of craziness already for the kids all year already. You know, some of them are back in school, some aren't. It's just a big mess for the kids too. But it's tough. I don't think it's quite ready to be the time to be going door to door and touching strangers' things at the moment.
Touching strangers' things.
Yes. That's another. I'm gonna write that
Choice
down.
words, buddy.
Touching strangers things.
That could mean several different things.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want that anyways.
No, we don't want that. Yeah, we don't want that anyways.
At least kids can still dress up, right?
Yes.
That's
I mean,
part of Halloween is coming up with a costume and being able to dress up and pretend that you're someone that you're not for the day. The part is just not getting the candy for it, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm curious what Ava's school's gonna do. We haven't heard anything yet. Usually they do trunk or treat. Is that still gonna be a thing? I mean, the good news is at least that's outside.
Did you say trunk or treat?
Yes. So okay. So for those of you without kids who aren't familiar with this concept, which I was not until I had kids, one thing they do is they have a parking lot for the school. They close that off, and what they do is they bring in the staff do it, and volunteers do it. They bring in their cars, basically open up their trunks. They're usually designed something like they have a whole setup, a whole theme, and everything, and they give out candy. The kids go to each trunk and trick or treat and get candy, and then you vote on the costumes and vote on the trunks and the decorations and the whole thing. It's actually pretty cool how much effort and creativity some of these people do with it. It's fascinating just to see that part, but I do wonder if that at least is happening, kind of thing. But regardless, it's just they haven't even said anything, and I think part of that is they don't know what they're going to do, because I think they're waiting for some kind of guidelines or some kind of information, something to tell them, or at least push them in the right direction. So I just hope everybody's careful. I hope that's the best part about costumes, right? You can wear a mask. They're part of the mask. Everybody be Optimus Prime this year and you'll be set.
Or doctors. People could be doctors.
Yeah. Be doctors. Yeah.
Ninjas. You could be a ninja.
Yeah. See?
Ninja.
How did nobody say Iron Man?
Oh yeah, you can be Iron Man.
Because Iron Man doesn't wear a mask. He wears a helmet. Yeah, it's different. All those other characters wear masks.
Spider-Man. You can be Spider-Man. Batman. Well, no, not Batman, because Batman's mouth hole is open.
Be Bane.
Where is she? Yeah, be Bane. Be Bane.
Oh, trick or treat.
But yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, isn't it? It should be Halloween every day of the year if it makes people wear a damn mask.
Yeah.
Well, in some places of the world, it is Halloween every year for some people.
Yeah.
So
and there's nothing wrong with that. Halloween is wonderful.
But it'll be interesting. But outside of trick or treating, Halloween's got so many fun things. I mean, already going back to the pop culture part of it, was it? It's not ABC Family anymore. What is it? Freeform has already started their 31 days of Halloween, showing their shows. I know they did Hocus Pocus. I know they've done some others. So the fact that it can start at the beginning of the month talks about how big it is and how much is going on with it, which is really cool.
Do you have a typical go-to thing that you'll then watch during spooky season? Because the one that I would like to watch again is It's the Great Pumpkin Tribe Run. You mentioned it earlier.
Yeah,
sure.
I think that is quintessential Halloween, right?
Well, I think within our age bracket too, especially because like our parents grew up watching it. I grew up watching it. Another one that I enjoy watching is Casper.
Mm-hmm.
Which version?
The one with Bill Pullman.
Okay.
And Christina Ricci.
Okay, so the live action movie. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I shout out to Reese. He's the one who gave me the idea to do the Great Pumpkin with Ava. He thought she was the right age this year, so I'm looking forward to trying that. But that's what I'm looking forward to, is what Ava wants to do more than what my traditions necessarily would be, because she loves everything Halloween. It's funny. We
never seen It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown?
No, well, we didn't start watching TV with her until she was 2. So I mean, the first 2 years of her life was nothing, and I don't think we might have tried last year, but she's actually kind of understanding things a little bit more when she watches them. So we're gonna try this year. Along with, I'm sure there's a whole, like, we watched that again. I wish I remember what it was, that Cars special thing. It wasn't Cars, but whatever it was actually kind of cute. It was fun. It had some adult humor in it. It was entertaining. So whatever she wants to watch, I think I'd be down for.
Yeah, and the good thing about It's a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, it's like it's short. It's it is, because of when it was first done. It's sanitized. It's not risque like a lot of more current stuff would be.
Yeah.
And it's a good learning lesson for her not to be like Lucy. Because Lucy is the quintessential mean girl. So teach her not to be like Lucy. Maybe not. Well, she could sort of be like Sally. Sally was a little bit more. She didn't want Linus to hold her hand.
Right.
You don't want to moon over a boy the way Sally does, right? So
that's a good point.
So
That's a good point. But
it's a good learning film for her.
there you go. Well, I'm looking forward to that. The other thing that popped in my mind was Stranger Things. It might be fun to do a rewatch of Stranger Things right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because didn't the season
they're starting to film.
right?
They're starting filming this past week.
Finally.
Yeah.
But season 2 and season 3
Yeah,
both
it's
were
been a
released
while.
during Halloween, right?
Yeah.
Or in October?
Yes.
Because season 1 was over the
Yes.
4th of July, if I remember right.
Yes.
I could be making that up. But either way, so that'd be another one to go back and rewatch, I think, over.
Skip season 2.
Season 2 has its moments.
I enjoyed season 2.
You know what? I think a rewatch will help you enjoy it more, to be honest, especially knowing what you know now.
Maybe. Yeah.
Especially
I've
since
never
you
watched
understand.
one episode of that show.
You should. It's actually
Really?
pretty
You should.
good.
It's actually quite good. Yeah.
Those
You
kids
guys are
growing
not
up
the
a
only
lot.
ones.
Right.
I've spoken about him before, but my friend Keith, who I told you folks had that arcade as his cosplay that he went to like San Diego.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
He is a super fan for the show, so he's always telling me, "You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it." And you know, it's not my thing. Maybe if they had Elliot Stabler in there and some SVU references, maybe I'd watch it.
Oh
Or
my
something.
gosh.
I mean,
I like how the only
I've said
the only
it
way
before,
you'll
I don't
watch
watch a lot of
show.
TV.
Right.
Aren't they bringing him back in some other show now?
Yeah, so the story is, and I don't know how fully confirmed it was, but I had heard rumors that there was supposed to be a spin-off show, so it was still within the Law and Order family, but it's about Elliot after he leaves SVU, where he goes, what department he ends up in. Doesn't seem like it's gonna have any other crossover characters because they've never referenced him after they wrote him off of SVU. So I'd assume it's just NYPD and then maybe a different division of the force.
And Ryan has to watch it at 4:30 in the afternoon while he's eating dinner before he goes to bed at 6 because he's 72 years old.
Dun dun.
Don't forget to take out your dentures and make sure you soak your teeth for the night. I think like the thing that kind of sucks the most about this year and Halloween is like we do typically get a lot of movie releases around now with like Halloween themed movies for those that like horror movies. Toys and collectibles are a lot easier because I mean they have their production schedule months in advance. So like BIM Toys got a huge bunch of stuff coming this week, and I mean they're literally tiny ghosts, so any time of the year is going to be spooky season for them.
Or Waldergeist, or
just their entire brand, which is great, and we love it. Thank you, Reese, for providing us with those.
Thanks for taking all my money, Reese.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels different, this year. Like, it's going to be just a lot of rewatching things on Netflix, like to kind of get in the mood, right? Without seeing anything new, unfortunately. Yeah. So how do you guys feel about those brands like BIM Toy, for example, that's their whole brand is ghosts and variants and stuff, and seeing that in like February where it's like, Valentine's Day, but it's not contained to October as a lot of other variants of these toys are.
Well, they're popular, right?
They are. They are.
So, and it's a way to extend the spooky season throughout the year, like you said. I mean, skeleton stuff, right? So many, even toy companies where there may not be their brand is spooky all year round. You'll typically see someone put out a skeleton version or like a Frankenstein thing or a mummy or a zombie or something like that. Look at all the zombie Funko stuff, right? That can considered for
the Marvel stuff they're releasing right now. Yeah, good call.
Right. So I think it's kind of cool because spooky season is one of those things where I think it really rivals Christmas. And so I think some people anticipate spooky season more so than they do Christmas.
I would agree.
So it's smart for collectible companies to extend their licenses or the brands to incorporate that because it's so popular.
Can I be honest? I didn't start really realizing how big spooky, I'm going to call it spooky, was until I started collecting Funko. I guess I wasn't that into it. And we talked about the horror movies earlier and everything. But then you just started seeing all the spooky, like, yeah, Joey's right. We'd be in the middle of April and they're like, here's Krampus, oh shit, there's 7 of them. Oh, cool. I guess people want them, kind of thing. And I just didn't realize it. But as, of course, we've gone more and more and getting into the BIM toy stuff and getting to, I mean, everything. I mean, they're every toy. I mean, even those can bots have skeletons and Halloween stuff what going on with them, and everything. It's insane, and it's nice, and it's fun to see that. It's fun to learn something you didn't realize until this kind of happened, that people are into this and people are into it year round. And it didn't appeal to me, but it definitely appeals to me a lot more now, learning how much it's embraced by others, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Krampus is cool because Krampus is the one thing that bridges Spoopy and Christmas.
Right, and Krampus was just my example. There's many more, of course.
I'll beg to differ. NBC is also a good bridge between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Nightmare Before Christmas, not the network broadcasting company or whatever it is. So,
thank you for clarifying. I should have said that.
That's my dumbass, because for the longest time,
NBC versus ABC and CBS.
well, for the longest time,
I'm still on my SVU kind of shtick because obviously they're on NBC.
You guys laugh, but there was the longest time like, why is Walgreens selling NBC pops? Is it like Today's Show or what? What is that? Oh, Nightmare Before Christmas. It took me a minute to get that through, seeing some post or something. So I need to clarify, because I'm the dumbass who's done that before and want to save anybody else that pain. But yes, Nightmare Before Christmas is a fabulous example, Ryan.
Oh.
Among many other. I mean, how many people do you think actually watch scary movies? Well, I mean, even going back to Stranger Things, how many people do you think watch scary stuff during the rest of the year? You know what I mean? I think we've even talked about on this podcast. I think it was last year when we thought movies would be coming out regularly. It's like, why are they releasing scary movies in April? Why are they releasing scary movies in June? Because people like them. You know, it's crazy. And as I mentioned, it was crazy to me. I'm kind of getting it more. But yeah, it's a year round thing. It's just, this is the culmination of all that. This is when you actually get to let your freak flag fly. You know what I mean? Like, you get
it's the Christmas time for horror fans,
right? Oh yeah, and a huge shout out to all of them, because they put the time, the money, the resources, everything into like their costumes. There are some amazing costumes people make for Halloween every year, and I'm not talking about Heidi Klum that has all the access to makeup and everything she'd ever want. I'm talking about these individuals, the same people probably do cosplay at cons, that just really go all out, know how to do the makeup, know how to craft something that'll just amaze the hell out of you, and it's so nice that people have that outlet, and I hope we all appreciate it as much as we should. I need to appreciate it more myself, but because usually my costume's like half-assed. I have long hair now. I'll put on my Wayne's World hat and a black shirt, and I'm Wayne. That's all I need to do. But see, Ryan, excellent. Ryan gets it. But there's people that just go crazy, and nothing but respect for that.
Yeah. This
Take me, Garth.
It's funny that you said cosplay, because I think that's what a lot of people forget, is that Halloween is the ultimate cosplay day. And people do spend probably the same amount of time prepping their Halloween costumes as cosplayers probably do, because they want to show off the best costume for Halloween. And that's pretty cool. I just don't have the time to even do that.
Right.
So I'm not the type of person that will dress up at Halloween.
Why don't you just get the kids at school as a project to build you like an Iron Man tree suit or something?
They make them Groot. You realize there's Groot they could make, right?
Right.
Well, yeah, like an Iron Groot.
An Iron Groot.
Crossover, an Iron Groot.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
A zombie Groot.
There you go. Zombie Groot.
Anyway, yeah, make a Groot for Joey there.
Next assignment. That's what I'll,
Yes, next assignment.
That goes well. I don't know how that works with history, but you can figure that out.
Yeah, well, we'll figure that out.
It's future history.
Yeah, future history.
So.
One thing, speaking of creativity, I do like, and there's so many people we know participating in this, is the is it Inktober, where they're doing a different drawing every day in the month of October. And of course, I'm sure most of them, if not all of them, are spooky or Halloween themed. And I would love seeing those. And it goes for everybody. I mean, it goes from the hardcore guys like Jason Rowe of Barely to our friends Kelly and Steph, who are doing their own thing with their stuff. It's really cool that they're embracing it to the extent they are. And I really like it.
I think Reese is also participating in October.
He is. I've just talked about him too much already. I'm already kissed up to him. I'm trying to not talk about Reese. I like the guy. I like the guy a lot.
Community, right? We mentioned Austin. There's Julie. You mentioned Steph, Kelly. Let's not forget Mark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the Average Nerds are doing a Halloween contest at the end of the month. So make sure you guys are following the Average Nerd podcast.
Their photo.
Yeah, whatever it is, but
Photo a day thing.
But it's all Halloween spooky related. So, make sure you guys. I want to participate. I gotta start thinking of stuff, but.
Yeah, and speaking of artists, let's also not forget about Dave Metran. Who's
Absolutely,
very
to the
good
Dork
artist
Knight,
as well.
yes, absolutely.
Yes. The Dork Knight.
That's right. Not to be confused with a Dork Knight. He's the
Dork Knight. The Dork Knight.
Yeah, there's some amazing.
What about
talent.
3 Dork Knight?
Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Anyway,
I deserve that singing. That was my fault.
That was your fault. You brought that on.
Yeah, I brought it upon myself.
How about we kind of switch things off? Is there any Halloween specific candy you can think of?
Are we going back to the candy corn thing again?
We could talk. Well, candy corn's got to be talked about. Which now, if I remember right, Joey, you've never tried candy corn.
I have never tried candy corn, so
feel free. The other thing that you guys talked about, circus peanuts. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, they're circus peanuts.
Yeah, circus peanuts. Yeah.
You all need to go back.
Year, like, what the hell is that?
You all need to go back and watch the sugar episode of Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, because he tries to talk companies instead of having the nutrition facts and putting things in gram, as in putting them as packing peanuts. So this Coca-Cola has 14 packing peanuts worth, or circus peanuts worth of sugar or something like. Anyway, but yes, candy corn. I do not like candy corn, but I will make an exception. They do make caramel apple candy corn, which I actually really like. When it's fresh, when it's hard, it's ridiculous. But if you guys haven't tried that, try it. I know it's hard to find, but it is actually pretty damn tasty.
Yep, just send me some.
Yeah, send us some candy corn.
Because you can't find it yourself, right?
No.
Good old
he refuses. He'll go to the store and he'll just be like, I don't see this. It's just it doesn't exist.
It's too low on the shelf, and he won't reach far that far down.
Yeah.
Clinton, you can send me all sorts of stuff.
Don't worry. Well, after you sent me my face stickers, I got to send you something, Joey. So maybe candy corn will be the solution to that. But are there any other candy that really like comes out of Halloween or has a Halloween feel to it?
When I was a kid, there was that horrible caramel candy that houses always used to give out.
Is it the ones in the squares, like the square?
Bit-o honey?
Not the. Well, there's the ones that the square ones, or the like the craft ones, which are really Those are actually really good because there was like a chocolate version and like just a regular caramel version. These are ones that came in like actual Halloween, there's like a Halloween design on the candy, and it was like caramel, and it wasn't just it was like almost like molasses caramel. It was that dark caramel, and it was
sounds awful.
Hard, and I don't know what they called them, but that was terrible. And that it was the one thing that you got as a kid that when you got it, you kind of just separated it from like the chocolate and the stuff. It's like, this is the stuff that you eat to the end when you're desperate for some candy, but it's terrible. That's Halloween. That's the Halloween memory I have as a kid.
Yeah, I don't know. Because like Christmas, obviously candy canes, right? That is like the first thing that I associate with Christmas as far as candy goes. And then with Valentine's, I'm thinking either chocolates or sweethearts. I don't know.
Well, I think honestly,
candy corn.
Yeah, candy corn seems to be like the only staple of Halloween candy, because everything else falls under just general candy.
Yeah. Well, I was even thinking like,
but they just package it
differently. I was thinking
of
pumpkin, right? Reese's and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like with Easter, they have the Reese's peanut butter cup, but it's in the shape of an egg.
Right.
Yeah. Same thing with Easter.
The Cadbury cream eggs, right?
Right. That's Easter specific.
That's
right.
Always an Easter thing.
Yeah. Oh, don't. Well, maybe that's the thing. Maybe except for like candy canes, it has to be disgusting because the hearts of Valentine's Day are disgusting. I'm not a huge Cadbury Cadbury cream egg fan. I'm not a huge fan of the candy corn. Is there like well, I know there's probably other holidays that have it, but anyway, yes.
See, Halloween candy, it's not necessarily, it's like what Nate's saying. I don't think there's something traditionally other than candy corn that is so associated with Halloween. Sure. But Halloween is always bite-sized candy pieces, right?
Not bite-sized, it's fun size.
Fun size.
I don't know what's fun about getting less candy, but it's fun size.
You know what I mean? It's like it's smaller portions of what you would normally get throughout the year. Right. smaller
Right.
bags of chips that really only hold like 2 chips
Yeah.
in the bag, right?
It's just a way for companies to make money off you by
Basically.
buying repackaged stuff, right?
Yeah. Although
There's nothing
there is-
special about it.
there's one other candy that I do associate more with Halloween than anything throughout the year, and the Smarties. They call them rockets in Canada, but it's the sort of little
the little
circular discs of pure sugar,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Those always used to be given out
Yeah.
Halloween.
They're so cheap. You could buy like a million of them for like
Really eat them
$5.
throughout the year. Who really eats throughout the year, right?
Yeah.
So that's
It's like
something
eating
that-
chalk.
Yeah,
It's
basically.
like
looks
the
like a piece
hearts.
of chalk in the wrapper.
But
It has
by
like
the-
the smallest bit of flavor. And but they're so cheap, and that's like a lot of people just would give them out obviously during Halloween because it's like you can buy them in bulk for like super cheap.
right.
Lollipops, another one, right? Lollipops always used to show
Mm.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tootsie Rolls
I
always
think
pop in my head,
doctor's
too.
office when I see a lollipop.
Yeah.
Mm.
By the way, Joey, I'm impressed that you knew the Canadian name for Smarties.
Yeah, well,
You're so intercontinental.
I am, of course. Of course.
World renowned.
It's just
I
3
have-
steps
I
for the tree.
I have 2 Canadian
Right.
brothers, right? I have 2 Canadian brothers, Nate and Gary.
It's true.
There you go.
There you
There
go.
you go. You're right. What about candy apples? Is that a Halloween thing?
Eh.
I think it's more of a fair thing.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
As somebody who doesn't eat them, I wouldn't know. That's why I'm kind of like, what do you?
But
Have you
that-
ever-
That being said, it does. When you said it, it's a fall thing.
Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe that's why it can be associated with Halloween, because I think when I think candy apples, I think like Nate said fairs, which are usually to me fall things rather than summer.
Mm. Mhm.
So maybe that's why.
Yeah. No, that makes total sense.
Could you imagine going trick or treating and someone giving you a candied apple? Like, where would you put it? Like, would you just eat it as you're going to the next house? Like, you don't put that in the bag, right? Because you can't really wrap that in anything.
No. And people used to
Yeah.
do that. That's the crazy thing.
Right.
Stuff like that you'd probably throw away anyways, because like you've heard all those stories about people like putting razor blades and like apples and giving them out at Halloween.
There's never. I think I've actually looked it up. There's never been any verified or confirmed case of that actually happening.
I'm sure it has.
I don't think so. I think you got to think about it. How much effort would that require? Like, you'd have to be not only have to be sick, you'd have to have the time and the energy and the patience to do that.
Mhm.
You know what I
I've never
mean?
heard
Like,
about a razor blade, but locally and here in Hawaii over the last few years, they have had needles.
actually,
Really?
in
Yes.
what? Just regular candy?
Chocolate.
I do like those like memes on the internet where like somebody like opens their Snickers and they tear it open and there's like a gun inside it in theory, you know? Oh my god, my kid found a bazooka in this, you know, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
these parents would actually, carefully inspect the wrappers, and they found little holes, and sure enough, yes, somebody had actually stuck in a needle inside of it.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
People are
Like that,
scum.
you gotta be something
You
wrong
gotta
with
be
you.
a different
Right.
kind of person to
Yeah,
do
there's
that.
something definitely wrong
Really.
with you if you're doing something like that.
Do you guys ever have like a dentist like that lived on your street and you got like a toothbrush
Uh-huh.
as like in your Halloween bag? Like, how disappointing is that?
Very. The answer is very. It's like when somebody give you a penny or even like a dime. You're like, gee, thanks. Thanks for putting this dirty money in with my candy. I appreciate
What
The
that.
dime is
Can't
worth more
eat
than that
this.
little piece of candy you would have got. Like,
Right.
Right.
I mean, and I mean, for all I know, they forgot to get candy. You know what I mean? Like they're like, oh shit, what do we do? Grab me that roll of quarters. I don't know what else to say about that, but you're absolutely right. And I've done. I've unfortunately had trick or treaters come, and it was literally little kids at their mom, and they came like, oh my god, nobody's ever come trick or treating at my condo before. I have no candy for you to give, and I didn't end up giving anything. I should have thought at least of change or something. Look through my couch cushions. Anyway,
Here's $5.
here's a pro tip: stop eating candy.
right? Just run out
Happy
your
Halloween.
kids. Yeah.
Here's the mint I was sucking on.
Right. By the way, I think we've
Use some
talked about this
half-chewed gum.
before. But I always have to say it every time we talk about Halloween is nobody is going to give your kids edibles. Don't get excited. Don't get worried. Nobody's giving your kids anything with marijuana in it. If they are, they're either horrible at spending money or they have a whole lot of it that they can spend on that.
Yeah.
And if they did that, you know what would happen? Within an hour, those kids would be coming back dressed in different costumes. and their parents would be coming trick-or-treating with them, like literally dressed up trying to get edibles from them for free because they know they're not cheap and they would want them. So if
Drugs
that's
are
happening,
expensive.
right, exactly. So I the news always has to push it here, especially here in Colorado because we're the drug joke apparently. But no one's doing that because that's like going to Peyton Manning's house. That's the one I always thought of, is like, I'm gonna go to Peyton Manning's house, see if he's gonna hand out edibles, because that's the best serious chance I have to get anything with marijuana in it for my kid or for myself. So stop.
What if you just go trick or treating at your mom's house? She makes edibles.
Well, yeah, but it'd be for me specifically, so that's fine. And that's the only place I would ever go trick or treating.
What age of kids do you typically get trick or treating? Like, where's the cutoff?
That's always a great question. And it's tough. Because I mean, to be honest, if you're out trick or treating, you're not doing something else. You know what I mean? Like, you're not causing problems. You're not off doing something bad. You're literally asking people for candy, which in the concept as itself is crazy. But actually, what's funny is back, like 3-4 years ago when I had my own podcast, we did a whole Halloween episode and looked at the origins of Halloween. I should go back and listen to that sometime. But anyway, yeah, it's hard to say. 12 is the age that sticks out of my mind, like roughly middle school here in the States. Seems to be a good time when you might do something else besides trick-or-treating. Because I'm not gonna lie, I mean, there's kids that come to my doorstep and you're like, dude, you're in high school, why are you here? What are you even dressed up as? I once had a kid holding a football. He goes, I'm Adrian Peterson. I go, you're Adrian Peterson by holding a football? He's like, yeah. I'm like, take the candy. I don't want you to egg my house. I don't want to have to clean that up. It's not worth it for the Snickers. Go out of here, whatever. But there definitely has to be an age. And I think, to be honest, it also depends on your situation in the sense of your financial area, and this is something my wife's really brought my attention to, is there are kids that don't get candy as much as like we did growing up, or even, as we do now. And this might be the best way, the most common way they get it. So they might be a little older trick-or-treating, but if they're in costume, give them the candy. You know what I mean?
They put a bit of effort into it, and
right.
they're having a good time. Like, there's no reason to be like to judge them for it, right? Like, I mean, you can like you said, if it's just some high school kid, wearing a like you said, holding a prop, like, fine, get out of here.
Right.
Take your piece of candy, get out of here. Don't smash my windows.
Right. Yeah.
Slash my tires.
Don't vandalize something. Just take my stuff and go.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm glad people have fun with it. And I'm somebody, and I feel like I'm dominating the conversation, so please interrupt me. But like I said, I'm a person that hasn't really been big into Halloween previously, and it's getting more and more. I'm getting more and more excited, more and more into it. But like I said, I've always enjoyed the trick or treating and the costumes that go along with it. I always loved seeing that. I think even as a kid, enjoyed handing out candy more than I enjoyed going out and getting it. But to each their own, of course.
Part of that, I think, is when you have kids, you start to what the Halloween season means changes, right? Because more so than you celebrating, and you're actually doing it for the kids. So.
By the way, Ava's going as a princess this year, and we already have all the stuff, so it's an easy costume. But that's what she's stuck with. Now I'm sure, like, the day before, she'll change her mind, but until then.
What are you actually gonna do? Are you taking her out, or?
No, we're not. As much as I hate to say it, we're not. I even would like to go to a few neighbors' houses, but I don't think we're even gonna turn on our light, and I don't think we're gonna go anywhere. But we'll see what school does, but I'm sure they'll dress up at school and, or daycare, I should call it, and go there and hang out. But otherwise, we're not going to do much this year here. Now, I mean, we want to do other things. One thing I should have told you, I thought I told you guys this, maybe I forgot. Shout out to our friend Patrick, who acquired a whole bunch of Paka Paka, had a whole bunch of extras, let me buy them off of him extremely cheap, which I tried to actually give him money, and then I ended up not giving him nearly as much because I thought he was sending me like 4, 5, 6. He ended up sending me the whole set -1. So shout out to him. That was so cool. And he won't take any more money. Yeah, shout out to Patrick. But he also he also sent the balls. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a Paka Paka scavenger hunt for her this year.
Oh, nice. That'd be fun.
And I gotta admit, God, Reese, apparently I love everything you do, because Paka Paka, those Blue Hollow, turned out so good. I didn't realize how good. I've seen the pictures obviously and liked them, and then you get them in person. They're bigger than I thought. And they're really cool. So I'd recommend them to anybody that's into the spooky stuff.
I'm looking forward to getting my set.
Hurry up, Eddie.
We're just waiting for it to be shipped.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so but other than that, I don't think we have any real Halloween plans this year. Do you guys have any Halloween anything happening this year?
Nope.
Just waiting for November 1st to buy cheap Halloween candy.
Ah, yes, that's smart.
That's really it.
Smart.
If there is
That's
any this
really
year.
it.
Oh, there will be some. I've been to Target a number of times, and they have plenty of candy right now.
That's
so.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for where I live, we live in the back of the house. My uncle lives in the front. It's not really a duplex, but we're behind a locked gate, so nobody can ever get back to us.
No, we can
I don't
get
ever have to
some,
worry
yeah.
about trick-or-treaters or anything, so yeah.
Yeah, growing up, like for me, I lived in like apartments growing up, and then now in like our townhouse area, we don't get a lot of trick or treaters because most of them don't cut through our neighborhood, like through the inside. So we usually don't get very many people. Like we thought about this year might have been like the first year that we thought maybe, you know what, maybe we will do something, like have turn the lights on, have some decorations, maybe even give out candy. But with pandemic stuff, we definitely we'll hold off till next year. Hopefully next year we can have some normalcy to it.
Yeah, that makes
yeah.
sense to me.
So
I just
Do you folks decorate at all in your house for the holidays? Whatever holiday they might be?
It depends a little bit. We have some Halloween decorations up. It's more stuff we've acquired over time from other people. I don't think we've gone out and bought it, but I do want to say there are some awesome Halloween decorations out there.
Mm-hmm.
I love going right now. We go on walks in our neighborhood. And we live in a nice place, so not to brag, but to bring that up is people do spend money on it. There's one house that literally the whole front of the house is a spider web and has a giant spider on it. There's another house. There's another house in the backyard that has a like Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton in the backyard that's peeking over the fence. So of course Ava has to walk over there and see it every time. We've ghosts and everything else. So it's really cool. I think the decorations are a lot of fun. We should probably do more because we enjoy it so much. But personally, we just have a few things here and there we've gathered over time. Some pumpkin stuff more than anything. How about you guys?
Isn't there one of the hottest items this Halloween or spooky season is that giant
skeleton?
From Home Depot, that 10-foot skeleton that people put in their yards.
Yeah.
Yes. And this dinosaur, by the way, is like that too. It's like 10 feet tall. It's so cool.
Yeah. And they also have those blow up things that you typically see at like Christmas time.
Yeah.
Those are really popular, those blow up.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I saw somebody put those in your yard.
12-foot skeleton.
12 foot, excuse me.
Wow.
12-foot skeleton. It's crazy.
Some way, or is it blow up? Like, what exactly is it?
No, it's just like a plastic.
Oh no, it's like a plastic skeleton.
Yeah.
Apparently, I saw it on Twitter. Like someone had there's like a augmented reality thing through the app that you can see what it would look like.
Oh yeah.
So you can put it in your living room. And you can see how tall this thing is. It's amazing.
Well,
it's only $300.
Oh,
so, only.
Well, didn't it start with a Twitter post like somebody's like put it up in September and their neighbor's like, "This is bullshit. Get this thing down."
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "I love your neighbor and I want to live there," kind of thing.
Yeah.
I saw one on a Mini Cooper. It's like twice as long as the Mini Cooper on the top.
Yeah. It's so good.
It is so good. So people go out and it's cool. Those blow up things are crazy. And it's funny because I feel like those blow up things, I always think of them like tattoos because somebody can't just buy one. They got to keep getting more and more and more. And then pretty soon their whole yard is just these blow up things that take energy, take electricity to keep blowing up during whatever time they have it blown up. So, I mean, do your own thing. But
is the competition of it, right? I think it's
right.
Yeah.
Oh, especially like Christmas. So yeah, but
it's basically the Griswolds at Halloween, right?
Yeah.
How scary can you make the house? How scary can you decorate the place? But that's usually to draw kids in for candy piece. So I don't know how it'll work if trick or treating is actually not happening.
Right.
People drive around neighborhoods just to still see how things are decorated.
Yeah.
Because part of it is
It
that
happens a lot during Christmas for us out here, but I've never heard
Christmas
about that
too.
happening for Halloween.
But that's the thing. It's becoming so popular that Halloween is turning into that. I agree 100%. But yeah, Christmas is always going to be the epitome of that. But Halloween's now coming up right behind.
Yeah. That's why I say that Halloween or spooky season rivals Christmas for a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh, and right, I get it. And I mean, I this is kind of off topic. I've always said my favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. You know, just because it's basically Christmas without the presents, which is great.
Shout
You know
out
what I
to
mean?
Canadians that have Thanksgiving next weekend.
Yeah, you
Oh, yeah.
Canadians.
Mm.
I'm jealous of that.
Hell
And
yeah.
Grenade, enjoy some for us.
I will eat some turkey and enjoy my long weekend. Another long weekend. It's wonderful.
I'll
Long
also be
weekends are
off
the
Monday.
best.
But anyway, yes, I agree. Anything else you guys want to talk about with Halloween?
I feel like we could have spoken a lot about haunted houses, but I don't know how much more time we have since we've already hit an hour talking about this subject.
We have
Yeah,
a
no,
little
let's do
time.
it.
I mean, the
Yeah.
problem haunted houses are interesting. And I'm glad you brought it up because I was thinking about it. It just sucks this year because I'm sure
Yeah.
they're not happening. You can go to a
Mhm.
virtual haunted house, however that works. But um, I don't know. They're interesting. There's some good ones and there's some just bad ones for sure. I don't know. I'm trying to think of. There is one where I went through a cornfield and you had to go in and out of a broken down old school bus, and there were
Ooh,
people hiding in the chair and like in between the chairs.
right.
Yeah, that was
right.
pretty. That one was pretty scary. I'll give him credit on
Yeah.
that one.
Cornfield alone is the thought of like being in a cornfield at night is
Mm.
terrifying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you have your friends with you and a couple of drinks, it's not too bad.
Well, that right there is a making of a horror film, right? A slasher film.
Right, that's how it starts.
Yep.
Yeah.
People,
But I'm not a teen and I'm not good looking enough to be worried about it. You know what I mean? Jason's not coming after me. He's like, oh, you're an old guy. I'm leaving you alone.
You're not worth anything as a sacrifice.
That's right. Only those sexy
Um,
teens have to worry about it.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's gonna be interesting how they're gonna do that because obviously the disinfecting part is gonna be the
Oh,
toughest
yeah.
thing,
Oh,
right?
I can't
'Cause-
imagine. I can't
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
Just like I can't imagine it with schools, but I can't imagine it in the middle of a haunted house where there's people coming from everywhere all the time.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, I just don't see much of it happening, unfortunately, because I know there's again people who just go all out and really put a lot of time into it. I'm thinking of Modern Family. I don't know if you guys have ever seen when they made their house into a haunted house and how crazy that was.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's making me think of it is just all the time, effort, energy, planning, even that goes along with it. Which is I hope they come roaring back in 2021 because I think there's obviously a demand there for it. That now even people that don't like them are going to be all shit. I got to go because I don't know when I'll be able to go again. So
Right.
like you just think of even like like theme parks and stuff like that because normally they do a whole
yeah,
day, right? Where they or not a whole day, but they decorate and go all out and
right.
like a haunted
Yeah,
sort
like the Haunted Mansion over at Disneyland, they theme it out
Yeah.
every year, and it's different during Halloween. It's different during Christmas than it is for other parts of the year.
Right. Well, even some of the local places, like our equivalent to Six Flags, has an amazing haunted house every year. It's different. Like Joey said, it's different every year. So,
Mhm.
yeah. I hope they come roaring back because I want to go to one now. I want to be scared.
well 2020 is basically we've been living an entire like horror apocalypse film
Yeah.
here, right? So
It's weird how it's slow, but at the same time, time moves very quickly during these times that we're living in. It's like, sorry to talk about work here, but my big boss, I was supposed to have a follow-up meeting like a month after our initial meeting, and it's now been almost 2 months, and neither of us has followed up with the other because we completely forgot about it. It was one of those things. Okay, let's plan to touch base because this is like career path stuff for me to
Right.
get insight from my thoughts after I had a month to think it over, and we just haven't corresponded about it.
yeah.
No, I get it.
It's just weird.
Try having a kid. Watching them grow up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Slow and fast at the same time. So anyway. Well, if I think that's a Halloween discussion. So if we're done with that, I believe it's getting around a specific time here.
Yeah. What time is it, Joey?
It's game time. No, it's not. I've been too busy moving to actually.
Ah, damn it. Got me all
Ah,
excited and
damn
there's no game.
Yeah.
Damn it.
So,
Damn you, Joey, and damn you moving.
all these, but moving, mess. No time for games.
Yeah.
No time for games.
No
That's the
time for no fun for tree.
Look,
Um,
I'm
No
taking
fun for tree.
time to chat with you, Yahoos. So
Don't call me a Yahoo.
Kryptonius, I will call you what I want to call you.
Well, since you are so busy, maybe we should wrap this up then.
Yeah, I think that's a good discussion on Halloween. We were supposed to keep it to pop culture, but it kind of went all over the place as it usually does. So thank you for bearing with us and helping us kick off this October month of Halloween talk. So we'll definitely have more in the upcoming episodes. Hopefully, we'll have some special guests throughout the month. We'll announce those as they come up. If you guys are planning to do trick or treating or do anything like that, stay safe. Wash your hands, disinfect your candy. Do whatever it is you need to do to keep yourself safe. But enjoy the month. This is something I feel like we've all earned, and we all deserve after kind of going through it this year. So,
agreed.
So yeah, as usual, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at @the_dorksman. Feel free to email us at dorksman@gmail.com. Play along dorksmanbingo.com for our bingo card. And this week on Tuesday night, Clint will be doing some Mario, hopefully, with Sully and friends and whoever else has a Switch. They're going to try to do some, was it Mario 35? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think so. So if you guys have the online service, download it now so we can hopefully set it up. I haven't played with it, but I'm hoping we can do it with friends and beat the crap out of each other for a little while.
It sounds like a good time. I think, Ryan, you're probably streaming tomorrow night. I think Monday night.
I'm going to try. Work permitting.
No.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Work. Joey, once you're all moved in, hopefully one day soon we can play Fall Guys again. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yep.
Somebody's got to do the no. I won't do it this week because I'm too good at it. But somebody's got to do the no.
Well, Joey can do it. Joey, do your no.
No.
Perfect.
Well done.
Classic Joey.
Classic Joey.
And as usual, Friday nights we've got our Dorksman game night. We've been doing Jackbox. And we'll be back at that next Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. 7 p.m. Grandma time. Grandma time.
Grandma?
Grandma time.
Oh, man.
I think that's it. I think we hit everything.
I think so.
I have one more thing to add.
Yeah, do it.
I'm surprised that Clint didn't mention it. Happy birthday, Robbie.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Robbie.
We are recording on Sunday, so
it's also
to my recollection, it is his birthday today, right?
It is. It's also Nova Collect's birthday, who joins us for
Yes.
Oh,
this.
nice.
So
Shout out to Nova.
Yeah.
She's been with us on Game Night the last several weeks, so happy birthday to both of you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll hear this the day after, or later. But either way, happy birthday.
Yeah. And congratulations on the move, Joey, and thank you for taking time out of your move to join us and chatting with us yahoos, as you like to call us.
It's yahoos.
Us yahoos.
Good stuff. All right, Nate, take us home.
All right. Well, thank you everyone again. That's episode 63. And with that, that's my secret. I'm always angry.
Spoopy.
Word, homies.
Please, no gang signs.